Hello, you all. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Trying to find some music here. I love my music. How is everyone doing? Come on in. Come on in tonight. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you are there. Come on in. Come on in tonight. How is everyone doing? I'm trying to find me some music. I love my instrumental Afro beats. Listen, I love all of my music here. Come on in. Let me know you're there. Let me know. Say hello to me. Come on in. Let me know if you're there. I love my music. I love instrumental music. I don't like music, too much music. Only music I listen to with a lot of words because I don't need that certain music, you know, making me feel certain ways. So I love my Afro beats, my instrumental. Only music I listen to with words is my gospel music, my worship music. But I love music. I love the beats. And yeah, come on in, you all. Come on in. Let me know. Say hello to me. Don't be afraid to say hello. Say hello to me. I'm gonna say hello to you all. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna type that in the chat. Let me know if you're here. Say hello to me. Come on in. Listen, I just wanted to come and share this message, this quick message about people be peopling. People gonna do what they do. And yes, people are going to do what they do. So come on in. It's 3 minutes in. Let me get my message started. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is peopling. Just a conversation, nothing major, just to come and, impart some wisdom in you and just talk to you about, how to deal with people, how to set healthy boundaries, why we should set healthy boundaries. And because a lot of us, especially those of us who are very caring and tenderhearted, we have no boundaries. We allow people to run over us. We allow people to say anything to us. We allow people to mistreat us, right? I'm saying us because I was once like that too. And what I've learned by studying people, by just watching people behavior and just observing people and allowing people to do exactly what it is that they want to do. What I've noticed about people is they're going to do exactly what you allow them to in your life. They're going to move exactly how you allow them to in your life. That's what I had to learn. And sometimes what happens to tenderhearted people I don't like to say empaths. I don't like to say that, but they call them empathetic people, empaths, and I call them chosen ones. A lot of time, what happens with these people is people get used to doing what they want to do. They get used to inflicting harm and pain on the chosen ones, right? People are going to do what you allow them to do. And for some reason, our empathy allows us to just take so much until we get to a breaking point. And you shouldn't be getting to breaking points dealing with people. Anyone that is moving what we call sideways or not moving according to the boundaries. That's why I say boundaries are important. Like if they're not moving to the boundaries, according to the boundaries you have set for your life, it is okay to exclude these people from your life. It is okay to dismiss these people from your life. For some reason, we feel like we have to accept certain things from people because of who they are in our lives. And you don't have to do that. I don't know who made up this rule to where you have to allow people to mistreat you. You have to allow people to harm you and do all these things to you because you so quote unquote love them. No, that's foolishness. And I know sometimes we can get stuck in religion to where people use religion to continue their abuse. No, we have to stop that. We have to stop that. You shouldn't be going against what your spirit is telling you. Your spirit is telling you that does not feel good. And you keep allowing things to happen, you keep allowing people to do and say things to you and mistreat you when your spirit is crying out for help. Your spirit is saying that doesn't feel good. But because you're so religious minded, some of us, we just allow people to keep doing things and, oh, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to, keep praying. I'm going to keep. No, no, no. Some things don't need prayer. Some things only need for you to speak up and say, you know what? I'm not going to let you treat me this way. You don't need prayer when you can tell a person, no, I'm not going to allow you to mistreat me. I'm not going to allow you to do this to me. You don't need prayer for that. You don't need prayer for that. When you can use your voice, you can assert yourself, you can use your authority to tell people, no, you're not going to treat me this way. Boundaries, excuse me, boundaries are so important. Boundaries are so important because having boundaries will allow you, right? It will allow you to navigate through this world like you should be navigating. And a lot of us are not moving and navigating in the world how we should because we don't have boundaries. We're all hurt. Our feelings are hurt, you know. We're in pain. We're feeling sorry for ourselves because you have no boundaries. You have no boundaries. You're feeling sorry for yourself because you don't know how to say no. You feel guilty for saying no. Like, it's almost like you have a certain level of loyalty to people who don't even care anything about you. They have shown you They have shown you that they don't care about you. But you're still trying to make excuses. Still trying to make excuses. And I'm not sure why people are like that. I'm not sure why, you know, we are that way. Like people are that way. I'm no longer that way, you know? But I used to, I'm saying we because I used to be that way. Allow people to mistreat you, and you see they are mistreating you. You see they are treating everybody else different from you. But for some reason, we still try to run behind them to get them to approve of us, to get them to like us, to get them to accept us. No, no. It is time for you to heal, and it's time for you to do the inner work on yourself. Because most likely, when people are running behind people to try to get their approval, they have experienced some form of abuse, whether or not it was in childhood or, they have experienced some type of abuse that they need to address, because people are going to people. Like they say, people be peopling, people are. But you have to have love, enough love. You have to have enough love for yourself to not worry about hurting people's feelings. I used to be that way. I used to be that way. I used to be like, I don't want to tell them no, or I don't want to hurt their feelings if I say this or that. No, no. You have to let people know how you feel so there won't be any assumptions. And you have to be fair. You have to be fair, which means you have to let people know, because, people are not mind readers. You have to let them know, what, I don't like when you do that, to me. I don't like when you say that. And you don't have to be nasty about it or mean or hateful or anything. Or, you can say, you know what, I notice that you do this a lot. I notice that you say this a lot in a joking way. Because sometimes people will say things in a joking way, but it's their way to let you know how they really feel about you. And if that makes you uncomfortable, you should say something. Tell them, don't joke with me that way. I don't like when you say that about me. And if they continue to do it, to set your boundaries, to remove yourself from them. Because we feel like we can't move ourselves from people. I hope it's my tea. Hope it's warm. Oh, that's pretty good. Yes, we feel like we can't move ourselves away from them. No, you can remove yourself. I remember I spent so many years tolerating people in their foolishness, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I didn't want to seem like I was the bad guy. I didn't want to, all these different things getting in my way, because I did not heal like the little girl in me. I did not deal with the little girl in me. So I became a people pleaser. I was so concerned about what people thought of me and what they would say and how they would perceive me. Now I don't care, because you know what I've learned. And see, this is why personal development is so important. Personal development and getting coaching and just growing and reading and getting new information. It is important because it allows you to see things from a different perspective. It allows you to, learn new ways of doing things. It allows you to look within and ask yourself those hard questions. That's why I created that I Am Responsible self-help guide. And it's a free download on my website here if you go to the about page. And there are some questions in there. The guide is free. You don't have to pay anything for it. When you go to the site, you just put in 0 and you can download the guide for free. And in that guide, there are questions that I ask myself. There are so many questions in there. I think it's 30 questions that I asked myself, and I really had to ponder and find the answers and research. So I created a guide to help other women as well. Because sometimes we don't sit down and ask ourselves questions. We don't. We just be going and going and going and going. And don't ask ourselves anything. We don't self-reflect. We don't take care of ourselves. We just be going. All while losing ourselves and breaking down spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And by the time we look up to try to do something about it, we 5 or 6 different ailments and sicknesses in. So now we got to go course correct. We got to go back and try to correct all of the illnesses. excuse me, excuse me, that has manifested over time. Stress, you're depressed, high blood pressure, all these different ailments from just going, 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 and not really taking the time out to focus on self-care. I pre-recorded a video earlier about self-care that I haven't uploaded yet, but I'll be uploading that as soon as I can edit the video. Yep, as soon as I can edit the video, I'll upload it. But yes, that's what I want to come talk to you all about. People are going to be peopling. They're going to do what people do. So you have to do what you going to do and not feel bad about it. I used to feel so bad about, setting boundaries and, distancing myself from people, or, letting people know you can't come in my space. You're not going to treat me this way and want to be in my space. No, you're not going to do that. And sometimes we be feeling like we're obligated to tolerate people, you know, to accept people, to deal with people. You're not obligated. Don't feel obligated. I'm not dealing with anybody. I'm in the point in my life where I'm past 40. Look, I'm past 40 and proud to be. I'm not ashamed. Past 40, and it is unwise of me to move through life how I did when I was in my 20s. It'll be unwise for me to accept and deal with the same things that I've dealt with in my 20s and my 30s, deal with the same thing in my 40s. That's unwise. I'm telling you all, that's unwise. It is unwise. And that's what I said. I sat down and I looked back over my life. Excuse me. I look back over my life and I'm like, wow. I tolerated a lot of things from a lot of people. And I said, I'm not going to deal with that in my 40s. No, ma'am, I'm not doing it. I don't care if I have to be by myself. See, that was another thing. At one point in my life, I used to be afraid of being alone because I had that spirit of rejection. That's why I tell you all, you have to do the work. When I tell you I've been doing some work, you hear me? Oh, I've been doing the work. I put in work. I'm not going to stay stuck in my past. I'm not going to stay stuck where I used to be 10 and 20 years. I'm not staying there. I'm a different person. I'm not even the same. I don't even recognize myself. That's how much work I've been doing. I don't recognize myself. The things that I used to trip over, and things that used to get me upset, I used to worry about. I don't even worry about those things no more. And I look in the mirror, I look deep down in my soul, be like, I can't believe you the same person. Look, I be looking at myself, I be like, I can't believe you the same person. That's just the work. The work, and I understand, you know, how to release people. I understand how to move on. I understand now, because before I just couldn't wrap my mind around certain things. Like I just couldn't get it. You know how certain things like you ever met those people that it's almost like they keep going through the same cycles and you're on the outside looking in and you were like, they still going through the same thing. They just don't get it. And a lot of times people just don't get it. If they're not doing the work, if they're not getting the help that they need, the coaching, they're not getting deliverance, they're not working on themselves, they're not getting new knowledge. Because deliverance, only thing deliverance is new knowledge. Only thing deliverance is new knowledge. Let me see what that verse is. It says, through knowledge. Is it through knowledge the just shall be delivered? Or by knowledge? Hmm. What is it? Uh, what is Proverbs 11 and 9? It says, an hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbors, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. And I think this is funny. It says, as clearly inferred in the previous proverb, there is no vaccine for trouble. God does not shield the righteous from trouble, but he does deliver them out of it. But yes, it's just get a new knowledge. That's all. Get a new knowledge. And that's what I've been doing. And when you start getting new knowledge and when you start getting new knowledge and information and you start changing, people are not going to like that because your boundaries are going to be so high that because people like having their way. Like I said, people be peopling. They like having their way. For some reason, people like to control other people. God didn't put us in this world to be controlled. He didn't put us here to be controlled. He don't even control you. He doesn't control you. He gives you free will. But for some reason, people want to control others. And they will get mad when you start waking up and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm not going to let you. And see, people will get mad when they no longer could abuse you and misuse you. Oh, yeah, that'll happen too, Joanne. That'll happen too, but that's part of it. But see, that's where healing comes in. Because if you're healed, you can expect that. When you're working on yourself and you're doing the work on yourself, it's a few things you can expect. You can expect people to lie on you, accuse you of doing the very things that they have done to you. You can expect for people to come and attack you, like they'll group up on you and attack you. You can expect that. Those are things to expect. You can expect to feel lonely sometimes, right? You can expect to feel lonely sometimes. You can expect to feel like you're by yourself, like you don't have anybody for you, but that's a lie. You do have someone there, with you. God is always with you. But you just feel like you're by yourself. That's what it feels like. When you finally start setting boundaries, when you finally start telling people no, when you finally say, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this dysfunction. When you finally say, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't deal with this. Oh yeah, this isolation is growth. When God puts you through isolation, he's growing you up. And a lot of people are going through that right now. And a lot of people are resisting that isolation because they don't want to be alone, but God has to do the work on you so you can come out stronger. A lot of people don't want to go through that. I've experienced it. It's not easy. People are going to say and assume whatever they want to, assume about what you got going on. But God is just healing you. He's trying to take you through a spiritual healing and cleansing. He's trying to take you through a spiritual healing and cleansing, get you to grow up, trying to get you not to be so codependent on people, get you to trust more in him. That's what he's doing. He wants you to trust in him, not people, not mankind. He wants you to trust him. And I can speak for myself that that's what he really is doing. That's what he really is doing. Like um just in isolation, just growing, and he's doing that work, especially in the chosen ones. He's waking a lot of them up. A lot of chosen ones are being woken up, awakened to who they really are, because a lot of them don't know that they're chosen. They just know that they endured a lot of pain throughout their life. They just felt like they always been different and isolated. So he's really taking the chosen ones through this awakening process. He's healing a lot of them naturally, like spiritually, they're being healed. They're forgiving people, because you have to forgive. You don't have to see, that's another thing. Just because you forgive people, that doesn't mean that you have to trust them again. See, most people make these like they're interchangeable. They're not interchangeable. Forgiveness is trust, and trust is two different things. I could forgive you and never trust you again, because you have shown me given me too many reasons not to trust you. People think that's interchangeable. Those are not interchangeable. Don't let people fool you and tell you that lie. You can forgive people and not trust them. It's a lie to think that if you say you forgive somebody, that means I have to trust you again. That means I have to give you access to me. No, no, that's not true. That is not true. That is not true. And that's a yes. And see, Joanne, a lot of people have been raised up in like dysfunction, and we don't trust ourselves. We don't know how to set those quick boundaries, because a lot of us were not taught. We were not taught to set those boundaries. So people continue to do whatever they wanted to do in our lives. So you've been allowing people, I'm gonna say we've been allowing people to do whatever so long. Now we're to a place of healing and boldness. It's like, I don't care if I stand alone. I don't care if I'm by myself. I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way. Now people are pushing back. They're setting boundaries. Now people don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with this new you. They don't know what to do with this version of you who saying, no, this is your limit right here. This is the limit. You can no longer go past this boundary. Now people don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do. People don't appreciate a good thing until it's no longer there. Like the saying goes, you don't appreciate a good thing until it's gone. People don't appreciate it until you're no longer there. And then by that time, you're so broken and hurt, you don't even want anything else to do with them. You don't want anything else to do with that person, whoever it is. You're just like, you know what? Live your life. God bless you. I wish you the best. Bye. Live, do your thing, live your life. And see, people will judge you. They're going to judge you because they didn't have to endure the pain that you've experienced. They're on the outside looking in. They didn't have to endure the pain, the betrayal. They think you're supposed to just graze over how somebody mistreated you, how they betrayed you, how they tried to destroy you. They think you're supposed to just forget. No, no. That's why I say don't let people use religion to keep you stuck in that. No. Oh, yes, you got to forgive, because if you want God to forgive you, oh, you got to. But you don't have to let them back in. You don't have to reconcile. You don't have to hate them, but you don't have to reconcile. And let them move on. Especially if it's a romantic, let them move on to the new supply, the new whoever, and bless them. Say, God bless you. I want you to be successful. I want y'all to be successful. That's how you do that. Because you want to bless them so you can receive your blessing. You go ahead on. Go ahead and do what you want to do. You got to be able to release because sometimes, we be afraid to release people and let them do what they want to do. You can't control nobody. If they're not being loyal and faithful to you, if they're not treating you well, that's their character. That's a character flaw. So no matter where they go, they're not going to change. Change comes from you. The person has to want to change. Sometimes we try to get people to change for us. If they don't want to change for themselves, they're not going to change. Change comes from within. Anybody could change, but you got to want to change. You got to do it for you, not for anybody else. And that's what people do. We try to get people to change for us, forcing people to try to love you and change for you and do right by you. If they haven't did right all these years, they're not going to do right. I had to come to that realization. If a person's not going to do right, they're not going to do right. You got to release them. Release them in love. Exactly. That's just how people are. People are ungrateful. They're not going to appreciate it. That's why you must heal, do the work on yourself so you can attract, if you're looking for that, you can attract the person to you that will appreciate what you have to offer, that could see that value in you. But you got to heal yourself first. You got to do the work on you, or you're just going to repeat the cycle. You're going to meet the same person in a different body. You're gonna meet the same person. That's why you got to do the work on you. Know what you want and what you don't want. Know your non-negotiables. Know, what you will tolerate in a person. Know what you won't tolerate in a person. Be willing to walk away if they don't want to, you know, meet the need that you have, or if they don't want to respect your boundaries. That's all. That's how you do that. And we got to learn to vet people. Sometimes, especially when people are in romantic relationships, things move so quick and it progress so quick, you don't get a chance to answer all of the important questions. You don't get a chance to vet and watch behaviors and pay attention to if person is keeping their word, paying attention to how they talk about their previous person who they were with, or how they talk about their children's mother or their mother. Like, these are cute. You got to listen to this type of stuff. We don't do that. We just think, sometimes we think we're just so special to people. Like, I had to this wisdom right here. You got to listen. If a person is talking about the person that birthed their children, or the person that birthed them, if they have this hate for them, or they don't like them for whatever reason, that's a sign. That is a sign. That's a red flag. And see, we think, sometimes people think, with women, especially with women, we think we're so special that we're gonna hold a little special pocket. We're gonna hold a little special place in this person's heart, who don't even respect the very person that birthed them, or the very person that birthed their children. Right? Like, you gotta do, yes, Jacqueline, you gotta do that work in you. And you can't be out here desperate, like, for someone. Like, you got to give yourself the love that you are desiring, and be okay if it never comes. Yeah, and be okay if that person never show up, because people be so desperate because they haven't healed, that little girl within, or those different wounds within. They be so desperate to be with someone that they just link up with any old body. And you got a lot of devils out there. They can sniff. that desperation. They can sniff the brokenness. They can sniff when you're vulnerable. They can sniff that out. Them devils, they can sniff that. They know good-hearted people. They know they want to exploit your goodness. People be peopling out here. They gonna people. But if you take your time to pray, to vet people, to watch their behavior, watch their character, you will know who's good for you and who's not. And don't get your emotions so involved. Don't get your emotions involved. Don't be trying to jump in the bed so quick because people like to just jump in the bed and get all their emotions involved instead of asking questions. Asking, you got to ask them questions. Ask them important questions. That'll run them. That'll run the wrong ones away when you go to ask them questions. Start asking them questions. That's why it's called dating. For some reason in society, we equate dating to sleeping around, sleeping, getting in the bed. We've equate, oh, they're dating, and we automatically assume that they're in a relationship or they're, romantically involved. Excuse me, in a sexual type of way. We're grown here, so I can say that. Yeah, no, dating is dating. You date. You don't just jump in the bed. No, you date to see if that's what you're looking for, and be upfront about it. Not to just be going from one person to the next. No. And if the person can't respect your boundaries, that's not your person. That's not your person. If you let them know, hey, I'm not looking to be, sexually active. This is, we're just dating, and they got all these No, that's not your person. Mm-mm. But we so afraid to say, we're so afraid just to say, okay, it's not working. Like that's where communication come in, because you don't want to be leading people on and making them think that they can overstep your boundaries when you have boundaries. Like, hey, it's just not working. Thank you for your time, but it's not what I'm looking for. See you later. Bye. Like, we all know how. One thing that I had to learn, and God gave me a gift. I don't have a problem. Yes, Joe. Yes, that's true too. That's why you got to pray, and you got to make sure your spirit is settled. Cause see, when you're not healed and you're um out with this spirit of desperation, you run into people who don't give a care about your feelings. They're out to get what they can get from you. They will leave you high and dry. They will leave you depleted, and you don't got all emotionally involved. I mean, you're all emotionally invested, and they out trying to milk you dry. They don't even have the same intentions. But if you're healed, your spirit will tell you. Your inner man will tell you. I call it your GPS. Your God placement system will tell you, run. And you will be able to run. You won't feel like you stuck and want to hold on. No, your GPS will tell you. But you have to get to that place. You have to get to that place. And a lot of us have not been taught that. And that's okay. That's why you got to learn. Life is not about being perfect. It's about learning. Long as you're in this life, you're going to learn. You're going to be learning from your mistakes and things like that. And that is okay. That's what life is about. Life is about learning and growing and learning from your mistakes. That's how you gain wisdom. You gain wisdom when you learn from your mistakes. Yep, you gain wisdom. Um, yep, when you learn from your mistakes. I don't regret anything that I've gone through because I'm wiser. That means I can get better, be better, get better every time. Oh, what I was gonna say earlier about I thank God for giving me the gift to gab. Like I don't have a problem asking questions. I don't have a problem communicating. I don't have a problem with asking what I want to know. Because sometimes, especially in dating situations, sometimes, people feel uncomfortable asking, certain questions. No, you have to ask those questions. If you want to know, you ask. Because people don't have a problem asking you for what they want. Oh, they don't have a problem with that. Some of these people are bold. They'll ask you first date. Sometimes the first look, the first date, they some of them telling you they love you and all this crazy stuff. No, that you can't know. In wisdom, you can never know. You know, when you have wisdom, you already know a person don't even know you. And they talking about they love you, they run a game. So wisdom will tell you now this person full of it. And you got to let them know now you full of it. By moving 3 weeks in, oh, I love you. No, you haven't even gotten to know me. You don't even know my middle name. You don't even know where I'm from. You don't even know. No, these type of people, when you that's why I say when you heal, you will start attracting a different type of person. You'll start attracting people that will match the healed version of you, not the broken version of you. That's why with some people who were in that's why some people who have been, in toxic broken relationships, and when they separate from those relationships, and some people do the work on themselves. Oh yes, that's a red flag there too, Joanne. Yeah, that's a red flag when they come in too hard, doing too much for you. Yeah. But sometimes when you're in toxic relationships, and this happened more so for women that I've seen than men, just because I'm a woman and I pay attention to women. um that's why when people are in toxic relationships, like, the woman will go and do the work on herself before she get out and, go date again or get in another relationship. And then when she get in that next relationship, she's not even the same person that she was in the old relationship. So the person will be like, I can't believe this person has changed. Yes, because the person didn't work on themselves. They learned who they were. They learned who they were so they can give their next person the best version of them in that moment. Because people change. That's when you do the work. That's when you want to change. Everybody don't want to change. And that's the thing. Everybody don't want to change. They will allow situations and circumstances to keep them bitter and keep them stuck and unhappy, and they're ruminating, they're questioning why, and instead of doing the work so they can move forward, they get stuck. They get stuck crying over something that wasn't working. If it's not working and no. But once you do that work on yourself, um, you grow and you do the work. And when you do get with your next boo, or you're in your next relationship, if that's what you want, you can give that person the healed version of you. Because you can't make them pay for what you've been through in the past. No, you can give that person the healed version of you. Hmm. And let your past be your past. The don't bring the issues from your past into your future. Exactly. Yes, that's my girl. I love listening to Natalia Kill. But yes, and you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And see, that's why people jump in and out of relationships and they're not doing the work. No person in their right mind just left out of one toxic relationship and you don't jump into another one. that's not healthy because you haven't did the work on yourself. You haven't done the work. You haven't, unpacked the issues and what happened in the last relationship. You haven't did the work on you. Because some people like to, what they say, get from under one and on to the next. There's a little saying that they say, you get from one under another one and you go, no. You get from under the one, you go and get with yourself. Go do the work on yourself. Get you a coach, a therapist. See where it is you went wrong. Not blaming nobody else. You can't blame the other person. You do the work on you. You let them do whatever they want to do. You got to do the work on you. You're responsible for you. That's why this is a responsibility channel where you take responsibility for your happiness, success, and freedom. You have to do the work. Now you can't worry about what nobody else did. Okay. They did it. You didn't deserve it. Now what you going to do? They did it. You allowed it. Now what are you going to do? Either way. But you're still responsible. You're responsible. You're responsible for how you move on. I know what I want. Right? I already know. I know what I want. I know what my desires are. I know me. I know myself. I know like what I'm up against. I know my SWOT analysis. What it is, a SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I know the SWOT analysis of my personal life. Okay. I know the SWOT analysis. So, and that's something you probably have to do too. You can Google that. You can apply that analysis to anything. Google the SWOT analysis, SWOT, and you can do one for your life. You can do one for your life. Mm-hmm. Yep, you can do one for your life to see where your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats, and mainly the threats are going to be you not healing. The threats will be you bringing what happened in your past into your future. The threats will be you not dealing with the unresolved issues of the past. Threats will be you not setting boundaries with those around you when you do move on and explaining to them like, hey, listen, this is my new life now. This is my new life and this is how it's going to be. Like you have to do the work and it's not easy, but it can be done. It's definitely not easy, but you have to do it if you want, especially if you want a healthy relationship. Not a perfect one, but a healthy one, because ain't nobody perfect. If you living in this world and you don't dated and married, and if you ain't no saint, if you're not pure, oh, you got some issues. If you're not pure, you have some issues. Even the pure ones have issues too, depending on how they were brought up their childhood and how they see the world. And everybody got issues, but you got to be willing to work on yourself and work on your issues. I've always been a person who wanted to do better, who wanted to grow, who wanted to, you know, and at one point in my life, I really didn't know that there was something called personal development. I didn't know. I just know I wanted something different. I wanted a better life, but I didn't know how to go about doing it. So when I discovered there was something called personal development, I was all in. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I had to say, you know what? I'm all in. I got to work on myself. I got to do the work on myself. I got to make sure I'm okay. I got to make sure I get over this. I got to make sure I deal with that. I started doing the work. in a book I can get my hand on. I read it. If my spirit, if I saw like an event and my spirit said, okay, go to that event, I went to the event. When I discovered personal development, it was on from there. Because it's needed. You working on yourself, and that's the thing. People don't want to work on themselves because people think they don't need working on. That's another thing. People think their stuff do not stink. People think their stuff does not stink. I know mine did. I know mine did. I didn't intentionally go around mistreating and harming people, but I know there were some things I needed to work on. And I worked on those things. I worked on those things, especially when you have children. I was doing the work, still doing the work, still doing the work. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. Just let me know if you're still there. You can say hello to me. I see Joanne. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you for joining me tonight. A Man of Wisdom. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Kings and Queens Coaching Group. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm just looking at the names in the comments. Hello, Consistently Me. Thank you for joining me. But that's what I want to come talk to you all about. If you have any questions, you can put the questions here in the chat too. And don't forget, I do have life coaching services available. You can book a session with me if you would like. My calendar is in the description, well, on the About page. There is a link on the About page. And also, don't forget, I have free resources. I have free resources on my website. I have the I Am Responsible self-reflection guide. You can download that. Some people give me a donation for it, but it's free. I'm not asking anything. Some people just make the decision to put $1 or $2 or whatever they decide in there, but it is free. You can go and download that free resource. Also, if you are a business owner, there is oh yeah, that is Jacqueline. That's why I said we have to learn. We have to learn, dear, because we don't be knowing sometimes, you know. Yes, yep. But we don't be knowing. So, we have to learn from that. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes because sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes you don't learn until you're a little older. Sometimes people young, learn. Um, you got to learn. Sometimes what I was gonna say. Sometimes you learn as you grow, and sometimes you learn when you're older. Sometimes you learn when you're younger. Everybody's journey is different. And that's another thing I learned to respect. I learned to respect people's journeys because my journey was one that I went through a lot of things in my teen years. Like I grew up fast, right? I grew up fast. I went through so much in my teen years that when I got in my young adult, my 20s and 30s, I felt like I had not lived 80 years. I thought I was 80 years old. Look, I was going through a midlife crisis, I believe, because I just felt like because I had to grow up so quick. Like I experienced so many things in my teen years that I was living life so fast. I felt like I didn't have enough time to live because I was doing so much. It was so much like on me. I was dealing with, my mom. She was an addict, dealing with her and, her ups and downs and all the stuff that me and my sister had to deal with that. Um, I was in this relationship when I was a teenager that I shouldn't have been in. That's why I advise young women don't even think about getting into no relationship until you, after 25, get to know yourself because of my experience. Everybody's experience is not the same, but because of what I went through, I could see where it's not wise for young women to get in relationships when they don't even know themselves, when their frontal lobe is not even developed, because society has put this image out there of what love is and what how love should be. And they forcing you to get married so early because of how it was back in the 60s and 70s. It's different now. And I still believe in marriage, but it's different now. You got to know who you are. Find out who you are first. Find out who you are first. Find out, what you like. Some of us get in relationships, don't even know our bodies. We don't even know our anatomy. We don't know how this thing function. We really don't know. But because society pressure you to get into relationships, that's why I told my daughters, y'all can't date in high school. Have fun with your friends. And, because see, even the Bible says, don't awaken love. So what is it? So early, so young. Don't awaken that desire in you, because you may not be able to handle it. That's why you got these young people want to, unalive themselves when they break up, because that emotion they don't got themselves involved in, they can't handle that. Tell me what's the point of dating when you're a teenager? Somebody tell me what's the point of dating if it's not for marriage, and you shouldn't be thinking about marriage. What's the point of dating? Just to have somebody you doing little things? No, that's not wise. Just for you to be getting yourself tied to somebody who you're not probably going to be with, that's a waste of time. You're wasting your precious time. I don't judge people. I only can talk to my own, children and let them know why. But that's not wise to do because of what I've gone through. I didn't know who the heck I was. But because society say this is what you do, you have a boyfriend, you date, no. And there's no purpose to it. No purpose. But yeah, that's what I want to come talk to you all about. just just finding out who you are. Because that's what I think is happening. That's why divorce rates are so high. That's why there is like a shaking in the earth, and people are trying to figure out why so many marriages, and they so-called Christian marriages, why people are getting divorced um after years, because they got in those situations without knowing who they were. They got in those situations without God approving of those relationships. They approved and they wanted God to stamp his blessing on it. But no, they got in those relationships prematurely because of societal pressures, family pressures, um, um, yeah, society pressures, family pressures, religious pressures. Like some of these people are not even equally yoked. And equally yoked, unfortunately, that's my opinion. People take that and blow that out of proportion, thinking just because you believe in God and I believe in God, that means we're equally yoked. No, you ain't equally yoked. That's not being equally yoked. Because if that were so, listen, you would have all these Christian marriages. You wouldn't have all those so-called Christians married 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So it got to be something deeper than that. It has to be deeper than that. And I just think that people are not discovering who they are and knowing what they like and knowing what they desire, because they don't know who they are. So they get in these relationships, and especially thinking a person is going to complete them when they get in that relationship. And the only person can complete you is God. God is your completion. He's the missing puzzle piece. He is the missing puzzle piece. Mm-hmm. He is. Yep. He is the missing puzzle piece. And until you know who you are and you complete within yourself, I don't care who you marry. You can marry the president. You can marry the president. If you're not complete within yourself, it's not going to work. You have to be complete within. You have to know who you are. And we all know money don't keep marriages together. Kids don't keep marriages together, unfortunately. Material thing like that don't keep people together. But yeah, but that's what I want to talk to you all about. People be peopling out here. I'm glad you all came in to sit in with me. Yeah, D, it happens like that sometimes. There is never too late. 60, girl, 60 is young. 60 is the new 40s. You have plenty of time. You're still young. You're only as young as you're only as young as you feel. I don't believe I believe if you're I just saw I just had lunch today with a friend, and I didn't know she, with the yeah, friend. I didn't know she was, well, I said a good coworker, good acquaintance. I didn't know she was her age. Um, but she's young in spirit. I would have never known because she got a young spirit. She's outgoing, creative, young spirited. And long as you stay young in spirit, age is nothing but a number. Don't feel like it's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late for you to change, for you to start over, for you to discover who you are. It's never too late. Never too late. I think wasn't that Colonel Sanders? I think it was Colonel Sanders. He didn't discover KFC until after he was 50. So it's never too late. And quite a few more didn't discover new talents until after they were 50 years old. I'm not going to allow things to stop me. I don't care what age I am. And I'm never going to retire. You know how people say, "Oh, I want to retire." We were not designed to retire. So a lot of you all who are retired and you're wondering why, you don't feel fulfilled, like you're not supposed to be retiring. Your purpose, you can't retire from your purpose. You can retire from your job. Yeah, you can retire from working, going on people's jobs, sitting in that cubicle for 15, 16 years and doing whatever you do on the job. Yes, you can retire from that, but you can't retire from your purpose. You're supposed to be doing that until the day you die. And it probably is, D. It's probably a new beginning for you. It's probably a new beginning. Just embrace it. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing. You just worry about where you are, right? Worry about where you are. You still can make the best of the life you have right now. Just look at, let's take Jesus for an example. What they say, he was 33. Look all the impact he made in 33 years and still impacting the world. And he was here only for a short period of time and still made an impact. So my point is, it's not too late for you to still make your impact. You still can make your impact on the world. You still can leave your mark. Don't let people make you feel bad because you're older. Older. I live for the day that I can live to get older, because everybody, and it's another thing too, I see people talking about people who are older and that they this and they that. No, it's a blessing to get older. It is a blessing. and don't feel bad. I see a lot of people feeling bad because they're getting. I'm a age gracefully. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna age gracefully, thankfully, and I'm gonna be thankful that I get to live to see 60, 70, 80, and good health and strength and still vibrant. Look, still vibrant and young in my 80s, like some of the little look, just like some of the little 80-year-old people who still working out and still fit. I'm gonna be one of those. I'm gonna be a fit grandma. The lady, and I saw this other lady too. She just started working out till she was in her 40s, late 40s, to get her health together. She was in her late 40s. One was in her 60s. This lady was in her 60s when she started the YouTube it. She was in her 60s when she started working out, changing her life and getting in shape and changing her health. It's all about the mindset. It's all about the mindset and not worrying about what people think and what they're going to say. No, I'm gonna be in my 60s skating and snowboarding, and I'm gonna be doing all kind of stuff. 70s, like this grandma who she thinks she is. I'm gonna be one of those. I'm gonna be living, enjoying myself, doing all kind of craziness because I like risky stuff. I like risky stuff. So that's why I had to keep some insurance on it for my children. But I love doing risky, fun, adventurous stuff. Change your mindset. And you got to continually battle for your mind because the enemy is out to try to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to destroy your mind. He wants you to be thinking negative and speaking negative and believing negative and worried about what people are going to say about you, worried about what people are going to do. He wants you to be stuck in all that. I'm not giving him no satisfaction over here. When he come to me in my mind trying to come with that foolishness, I cast him down. Everything he tell me, I'm not. I say I am. I am that. I am young and vibrant. I am healthy, whole, wealthy. I am. Yes, I do. I talk back to his butt because them thoughts will come. Those thoughts will come. I'm not exempt. Nobody's exempt. That negativity will come. You got to have some fight in you to cast that stuff down. And that's what I do. I say, I am wealthy. I am prosperous. I am successful. And it's a fight. You have to fight to keep yourself in a good headspace daily. That's why prayer and meditation is so important. So you can meditate even on one scripture. You can meditate on that. And you only need one. You don't have to be no Bible scholar. That's why religion and do people justice. And religion and do people justice. Religion put people in bondage and they feel like they can't get out of their situations. They feel like they can't get out. And what I mean religion mean all this legalistic stuff, like being legalistic and keeping you stuck and bound. No, no, I don't believe in all. No, I don't believe in all that. Where I feel like I'm stuck and limited. No, I don't believe in that. Mm-mm. We're supposed to be free. But I talk to his butt. Look, I tell him, listen, I am. I am young. I am happy in my spirit. I am whole. I am delivered. I am prosperous. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I am living my best life. I am a successful business owner. That's what I do. I talk, let him know what the deal is. I let him know what the deal is. You're not gonna come over here with all that foolishness because I'm gonna give you the business. I'm gonna let you know over here, we speaking life over here. You're not gonna get me to call myself anything other than a child of God, anything other than successful. You're not gonna get me to curse myself because that's what the enemy wants. Some of you all call yourself all types of names. Um, I'm stupid for this. I'm doing this. I don't even like to give an example because I don't even want it coming out of my mouth because you know your mind don't really know. Your mind don't know what's real and what's just examples. But you call yourself names. I'm STUPID and I'm, DUMB and I'm, no. Don't call yourself that stuff. No. Even when you feel like, because some of us, the only thing you have is negative programming. Go on over in them books, them good old books of Proverbs, so you can get yourself up out of that. Find one scripture, anything, one scripture to get yourself up out of that negative mindset. Everything come out of your mouth is negative. I can't do this. This, that. No. Change your mindset. Everything else will change. When you change your mindset, everything around you will change. I'm living proof of that. I am living proof. Always speak positive. Even when things are not going well, still speak life. Still speak life. Speak life. Speak goodness over yourself. And it is, I'm telling you, it is challenging. I'm not going to sit here and say it's an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do when everything around you is projecting negativity on you. People are negative. Your family is negative. TV is negative. The news, excuse me, excuse me. The news is negative. Everything is just negative. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it is. But when you take that time to pray and meditate, it becomes easier. When you spend that long time, it becomes easier. When you start taking care of yourself, it becomes easier. When you start spending that quiet alone time, it becomes easier. It takes work to keep yourself in a positive mental headspace. That's why boundaries are important, because people want to come dump all their stuff onto you. But if you got boundaries, you block it. When you got boundaries, you be like, psh, psh. No, you keep that. You remember Bruce Lee? I used to like watching Bruce Lee coming up. I used to love the karate movie with Bruce Lee. I used to love, he used to, wow, psh, you put them boundaries up. No, you keep that. Like, put it right back over there. No, you keep your stuff. Bruce Lee, wow. Bruce Lee was, I used to love watching Bruce Lee with my grandparents. He didn't say nothing. The only thing he was doing was fighting. That's all he said. Wow. That's what you do to them boundaries. Wow. Yeah, when you, boundaries are Bruce Lee. If y'all don't know who Bruce Lee is, go Google it. But your boundaries are Bruce Lee. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yes, your boundaries are Bruce Lee. I know some of y'all, see y'all old school. Y'all old school, so y'all know who Bruce Lee is. Some of y'all. Yeah, boundaries are Bruce Lee. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, boundaries. Bruce Lee, putting them Bruce Lees up. I think I'm gonna start using that. I'm gonna use them Bruce Lees. It's time for me to go because I'm getting ready to act silly here. I'm gonna be acting silly in a minute. But yeah, putting them boundaries up. Mm-hmm. Putting them boundaries up. And you let people keep their stuff because they'll want to dump off on you. They'll want to project that on you. Be like, no. And see, before I started developing and person developing and working on myself, I always let people control my emotions. I didn't know how to regulate my emotions. I would let whatever people do, I would have let that affect me because I didn't know how to, I didn't have any like self control. I didn't know how to regulate and like, I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to not let other people, what they do affect me. I didn't know how to separate the two. But once I started doing the work on myself, it's easy now. When I see people acting the fool, all that, no, that's your stuff. That has nothing to do with me. That's what I'd be like. That's your issue. That's a you problem. And people get mad when you don't let them rattle you. It's a powerful thing when you have self-control. It's a powerful thing when you learn how to self-regulate. Okay, when you learn how to self-regulate, it is a powerful thing. We don't let people shoot and project their arrows and energy onto you and drop all their baggage. No, it's a powerful thing. No, it's a powerful thing when you don't take on other people's issues that has nothing to do with you. We got to learn not to be so emotionally swayed. We swayed. People could sway certain folks emotionally. Any little thing, get your emotions involved. I see it all the time, especially in our community. A lot of us who look like me, us brown people, we're so emotionally. Anybody could emotionally trigger us, and we got to heal from that. That's the ancestral curse we got to heal from, and I know we can heal from it, but it's going to take work. So we won't be so emotionally swayed by everything. The news know how to trigger us. I see it. The news play on our emotions. They can get us hyped up by anything. They can show us anything on the news, and we just automatically get emotionally involved. And they know it, and they use it all the time. I just look at it. I say, that's bait. That's bait right there. That's bait. So that's what I want to come talk to you all about. Just, we just got to learn. And every day is a learning process. Don't feel bad because you're not where you want to be. As long as you know you're progressing and you're doing the work daily, and every day you're getting better, you're changing, you're journaling, you're praying, you're reading, you're doing something to help you move forward. That's all you can do. When you know you're doing the work, that's all you can do. Yep, that's all you can do. Don't feel bad because you're not where you want to be. Feel good because you're doing the work to get there. Feel good because you're doing the work to get there. But I thank you all for listening, coming in, listening to me tonight. It was just random. I was getting ready to go get myself ready for bed. I said, let me go talk to my tribe here. I said, let me go talk to my tribe and see what's going on. Let me see what's going on in the comments. It is all a learning process. We don't all have the answers, It's a learning, it's a learning process. And don't beat yourself up because, you're not where you want to be or you made mistakes, because that's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I used to beat myself up, but I see it now as, oh, that's wisdom. That's more ammunition I got to put in my arsenal. Look, I'm like, that's more ammunition. Okay, that's more wisdom I can help someone else with. I can pass on to my children. Yep, that's more wisdom. So I don't worry about that. But thank you all for coming in with me tonight. So I'm gonna go get myself prepared and get myself prepared for bed and get ready for tomorrow if the Lord's will. If it's his will. Can't be making plans. I got to say if the Lord's will. Can't be making my plans. He may got some different plans for me. So thank you all for listening. Good night, Jacqueline. Good night, everyone. So thank you for coming in. I hope you'll have a blessed night. Be blessed, okay?